Most men have heard of semen retention. Many men have heard of Stoicism, but very few people realize that these two ideas are deeply connected, because long before modern self-improvement culture existed, the Stoics were already teaching one of the most powerful principles behind semen retention, the mastery of desire. They believed that a man who cannot control his impulses cannot control his life. And nowhere is that battle more intense than with lust. The moment you choose to invest your time watching this video until the end, you place yourself among a very small group of people with a gifted mind. Think about it. Many people today cannot even watch a 30-second video without feeling the urge to scroll away. The mind has become restless, impatient, constantly chasing stimulation, but the ability to stay with one idea, to truly pay attention, has become one of the rarest mental powers in the modern world. And strangely enough, this ability is deeply connected to the same force that drives one of the strongest human urges, sexual energy. What we are about to discuss is something ancient traditions have understood for thousands of years: semen retention, and how the Stoics do it, not as repression, not as denial, but as transformation. Semen retention is the discipline where a man preserves his sexual energy instead of constantly releasing it, and redirects that energy toward other dimensions of life: creativity, ambition, clarity, and inner development. And if there is one philosophy in history that understood the power of mastering desire, it was Stoicism. The Stoics believed that a man who cannot control his impulses cannot control his life. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that the mind must remain sovereign over the body and not become its servant. Epictetus taught that freedom begins the moment a man learns to control his desires instead of being controlled by them. In many ways, semen retention is simply the practical training of that Stoic principle. For centuries, spiritual traditions across the world have recognized the power of this energy. Taoist master Mantak Chia and others have long advocated the conscious cultivation of sexual energy. They understood something modern society has almost forgotten. Sexual energy is not only biological, it is creative, psychological, and deeply transformative. When this energy is constantly released, the mind becomes scattered, the body becomes drained, and the will becomes weaker. But when it is preserved, something different begins to happen. The same energy that once chased pleasure begins to move toward purpose. History is filled with individuals who understood this principle even if they described it in different ways. Writers, artists, inventors, philosophers, and spiritual seekers have all spoken about the immense creative force that can emerge when sexual energy is redirected rather than wasted. The famous writer Balzac once remarked, after observing the waste of sexual energy, "There goes another novel," meaning that the creative power lost through release could have instead produced something meaningful, something lasting. But the question still remains, why would anyone willingly surrender one of the most pleasurable experiences in life? Why would someone choose restraint instead of indulgence? Why would someone choose discipline instead of constant gratification? To understand the answer, we must first understand the nature of the mind itself. The first realization is simple, but difficult to accept. The pleasures we chase never truly satisfy us. They provide a temporary escape, a moment of stimulation, a short feeling of reward, but the satisfaction fades quickly and the cycle begins again. The second realization is deeper. What we truly seek is not temporary pleasure, but lasting peace, clarity, and purpose. Spiritual teachers across many traditions have pointed toward the same insight. Lasting fulfillment does not come from constantly satisfying desire. It comes from understanding it, mastering it, and redirecting its energy towards something higher. At the center of many spiritual teachings lies a simple instruction. Pay attention. A famous Zen story illustrates this perfectly. A student once asked a master to write something profound that would summarize his teachings. The master wrote one word, attention. Confused, the student asked again for something deeper, and the master wrote the same word again, attention. Finally, the master explained, attention means attention. Similarly, the Indian sage Ramana Maharshi summarized his teachings with the same principle, attention. But attention to what? Attention to the source of the mind itself, the awareness behind all thoughts, experiences, and sensations. This awareness remains stable even when life becomes chaotic. It is the part of us that is not constantly pulled by desire, fear, or distraction. But the problem is that most people rarely experience this state of awareness because their attention is constantly captured by external stimulation. Money, food, and sex are among the strongest forces competing for the mind's attention, and of these, sexual desire often holds the strongest grip. When a man frees himself from the constant pull of sexual stimulation, he suddenly recovers a tremendous amount of mental energy. This energy does not disappear, it simply changes direction. Instead of being consumed by fantasy and impulse, it becomes available for focused creativity, work, and self-development. This principle applies to both men and women, but in men, the physical aspect of sexual energy becomes especially powerful because semen itself carries significant biological and energetic value. For thousands of years, Taoist and Tantric traditions have described semen as containing the essence of life energy. Taoist teachings refer to this essence as Jing, the foundational energy that supports vitality, creativity, and longevity. When a man constantly depletes this essence, he weakens the foundation of his physical and mental energy. But when he preserves it, something remarkable begins to happen. The energy becomes available for transformation. In traditional Chinese medicine, this life force is called qi, while in Indian traditions it is known as prana. Both describe a subtle energy that flows through the body and influences not only physical health, but also mental clarity and spiritual awareness. When sexual energy is constantly discharged, the system loses a significant amount of this vitality, but when it is conserved, the energy begins to circulate through the body, nourishing the brain, the nervous system, and the subtle energetic structures of the body. Many spiritual traditions describe this process through the chakra system, an energetic map of the human body composed of several energy centers aligned along the spine. The lowest of these centers, often called the root chakra, stores raw survival and sexual energy. When this energy is cultivated rather than released, it can gradually move upward through the energetic system, transforming into creativity, intuition, clarity, and insight. This rising energy is sometimes referred to as Kundalini, a force that awakens higher awareness and deeper understanding of life. While these descriptions may sound mystical, the effects of semen retention are not purely spiritual. They're also practical, psychological, and physiological. Modern science confirms that semen contains important nutrients including zinc, magnesium, phosphorus, and other compounds that play key roles in brain function and hormonal balance. When a man abstains from constant release, the body retains more of these resources, allowing them to support cognitive performance, motivation, and overall vitality. Interestingly, The brain itself responds to prolonged abstinence by increasing certain behavioral traits associated with attraction, drive, confidence, and focus. From an evolutionary perspective, this response makes sense when reproduction is delayed. The brain enhances qualities that increase a man's chances of success. These changes often manifest as increased motivation, stronger presence, sharper thinking, and improved discipline. Many men report that during periods of semen retention, they experience heightened creativity, clearer decision-making, and a renewed sense of direction in their lives. This phenomenon has been observed throughout history. Numerous philosophers, scientists, and artists were known to practice various forms of sexual restraint, believing that their creative genius was closely connected to the preservation and transformation of sexual energy. Figures such as Pythagoras, Plato, Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, and Beethoven all lived lives marked by remarkable intellectual and creative output, and many historical accounts suggest that they practiced long periods of celibacy or sexual discipline. Whether one interprets this as spiritual wisdom or psychological strategy, the underlying principle remains the same. Sexual energy, when redirected, can become a powerful force for creativity, achievement, and personal transformation. However, this path is far from easy. In fact, for most men, it is one of the most difficult disciplines they will ever attempt. Modern technology has made temptation more accessible than ever before. Pornography, social media, and endless digital stimulation constantly compete for the mind's attention. This is why movements such as NoFap emerged, encouraging men to abstain from pornography, masturbation, and compulsive sexual habits for extended periods, often 90 days or more. The purpose of this practice is not punishment or shame, but recalibration. By removing constant stimulation, the brain slowly resets its reward system, allowing motivation, focus, and emotional stability to return. The early stages of this journey can be extremely challenging. Urges become intense, the mind resists change, and old habits attempt to reclaim control. But this struggle is part of the transformation. Imagine a rocket attempting to leave Earth's atmosphere. The greatest resistance occurs during the initial launch, when gravity exerts its strongest pull. The rocket must generate enormous force to break free. Similarly, the first phase of semen retention requires strong willpower, clarity of purpose, and determination. But once the rocket escapes gravity, something remarkable happens. It enters orbit and begins to move with far less resistance. The same pattern often occurs in this practice. After the initial period of struggle, many men report that their urges become easier to manage, their focus improves, and their sense of internal stability increases. The energy that once fueled compulsive behavior now fuels productivity, creativity, and personal growth. Over time, the practice becomes less about resisting temptation and more about harnessing power. The real transformation is not simply physical, it is psychological and spiritual. A man who learns to control his strongest impulses gains a profound sense of self-mastery. He realizes that he is no longer a slave to desire, but a conscious director of his own energy. This realization can ripple through every area of life, improving work, relationships, purpose, and inner peace. In the end, semen retention is not about denying pleasure. It is about discovering a deeper form of power. It is about transforming one of the most powerful forces within the human body into fuel for growth, awareness, and achievement. My friend, this may indeed be the last video you ever watch about controlling your lust, and I sincerely hope it is. Because if you have stayed with this conversation until the end, you have already demonstrated something rare in the modern world, the ability to pay attention. And attention is the beginning of mastery. I want to congratulate you for watching until the end. It is a rare skill today. And if this message resonated with you, we will continue exploring these ideas together in future videos, especially the power of the mind. Please like and subscribe and join us on this journey.